YouTube. So per usual, I've been MIA for a while. So this is in my mailbox on the right day because it's Sunday. And I'll tell you a little bit at the end of this about what's going on, sort of. So anyhow, a lot of reading lately. Crazy Aunt Pearl, which I've mentioned before on her website, she had a book club invitation, and so this was the book, and I chose, for whatever reason, to get the uncut version of it, unabridged. So this is The Stand by Stephen King. I've never read this before. I've read a few Stephen King books, and then I read the Dark Tower series, which I absolutely love and highly recommend if you like kind of epic novels, sci-fi, fantasy meets Western. I don't know. I think that the Dark Tower series is amazing. This was a really excellent read as well, although there was some disappointment toward the end. Like most things, like I think I'm comparing more so with movies than with books, but usually I like the intro. Like Harry Potter, I love the first film. Lord of the Rings, I love the first film. I just liked the meeting of the characters and getting to know what's going on and like the unraveling of like the central plot or what's going to happen. So this, I really enjoyed the first book. The last part where they wrap it up, it was a little sketchy to me, so I'm interested to see what people are going to say on her website. I think the book club meeting is on like the 16th on her site. So anyway, I spent a long time reading this. It is 1,152 pages, so that took me a good week or two to get through. I think I was reading that for 2 weeks, and this is the only time where I was like, oh, it'd be really nice to have a Kindle right about now. So normally I do not advocate getting rid of books for technology's little tiny gadgetry. I love books, but this one was a beast to carry around. The next one I got, which I just ruined my bookmark. I'm reading this right now, and this is The Girl in the Steel Corset by Katie Cross. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's kind of cheesy writing, like it's not highly sophisticated, and it is a little juvenile to me. I like young adult. I'm trying to figure out how to justify it. I like young adult when it has more of like kind of a really interesting plot, but when it's just like boy meets girl and they're head over heels for each other, and it's like that, like, oh, I can't get enough of you, like cheesy, love. Like John Green's books are so much more thoughtful, I think, and as an adult reading them, there's things I can relate to and like life lessons. And this one, there was one part that drew me in with one of the more minor characters. There's like the the main protagonist who's a girl. And then she meets the main character who's a guy. But then there's another character who has kind of an interesting twist in his story, and that's the one I'm kind of most intrigued by. So it's starting to grow on me. I'm probably about 100 pages into it by now, maybe a little more. But, it's, again, kind of more of a fun read, not going to be one of my all-time favorite books ever. And this is part of the Steampunk Chronicles, which is kind of funny because it's basically like an older time period, like Victorian time period with robots. So I'm starting to get used to the idea of steampunk, but it's just kind of quirky to me, I guess. I'm like, oh wow, it's an original idea. I don't know. I'm feeling very cynical. The next one I got, which I haven't started reading yet, this is Fury by Elizabeth Miles. Really pretty cover. Love her red hair. If I could only keep my hair that color without it fading, that would be grand. So anyhow, this one I think has some mythology in the background, hence, the Furies. I thought it was interesting that both of these books, though, I wonder if they're both by Harlequin, both of these books kind of have the cheesy back where it has like a quote or something to hook you in. But this one hopefully will be a little bit more interesting to me than The Girl in the Steel Corset, so that's the other one I picked up, Fury. And then the last book I have right now is the Gwyneth Paltrow book, My Father's Daughter. I thought this was going to read more like a novel or a memoir with recipes, and actually it's just a cookbook. There's a few little snippets in here about her father and the relationship she had with him, but it's mostly just a lot about healthy eating and healthy recipes, although there are no recipes in here for red meat, and I don't think for pork either. She doesn't eat either one, so it's mostly fish, chicken, and duck, and then vegetarian recipes. So some of this stuff looks really good. I need to find a way to go through and figure out what to bookmark or maybe what to copy on my copier, just because this has to be turned back in. So unless I'm going to cook like crazy for the next week or two until it's due, you know, it's not really the kind of book that you'd normally check out. I don't know. It just, because it's recipes and you only have 3 weeks with it, it's kind of not quite conducive, I guess. So maybe I'll buy it when it goes on sale. I don't know. Some of the recipes look interesting. I don't know that it would be like my favorite recipe book. And granted, the whole spread of recipe books that I have, I usually only use 1 or 2, and then I always find recipes online. So, especially on Pinterest lately. If you don't know what Pinterest is, you're lucky, because it is a time sucker. But it's really fun. Pinterest is basically like a virtual message board site, and so people post pictures of like really neat places or food that just looks amazing, cupcakes, appetizers, all kinds of different stuff, wedding ideas, do-it-yourself type of ideas. So you can be on there easily for hours, and you basically pin things onto your little boards that you create. You can repin things from the site. If you're on a website that you visit and you find something you like, you can pin it to Pinterest. So it's just kind of a creative way to organize your stuff, and you feel like you're this amazing creative person when you're done browsing, although you sat on your ass for 2 hours and not done anything. So it's definitely a time sucker. I have a few more books at the library that I need to go pick up in the next week that I'm excited about. Tina Fey's Bossy Pants is one of them that's waiting there. So yeah, I'm trying to do a lot of reading, keep myself busy. I've been going through some personal things that are kind of touchy. I'm trying to decide whether I want to make a video and share that. I looked at some other videos of people who'd been going through similar things, and they were helpful to me. It's just very personal, and it seems like a lot of people on YouTube don't really go into that kind of personal depth. So I'm debating on that. We'll see. But hopefully in the next few weeks here, whatever I've been dealing with will be behind me. So that'll be good. So I hope you're all doing well. Let me know what you're reading, as always. My list, I think, has grown to like 150 books that I have on like the to-be-read list that I haven't checked out yet. So it's just ridiculous. I don't know. It'd take me years if I didn't add anything new, and I'm always adding new things. So yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.